All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Chicago Bulls video. If you enjoy this video, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'm posting Bulls content, NBA content every single day. I think you guys would like it. So the Chicago Bulls, they extended Lauri Markkanen's qualifying offer. So they offered him the $9 million qualifying offer on his contract, preventing him from becoming an unrestricted free agent this offseason. Now, this actually has a lot of people a little confused. I fully anticipate the Chicago Bulls to use this to try and work a sign and trade type of deal. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But there actually was a time that Markkanen's future with the team was in doubt all the way back in March when they were listening to trade offers. However, they decided to deal off Wendell Carter Jr. instead of Lauri. And at the time, I was wrong. At the time, I was one of the people who was saying we need to trade Wendell and keep Lauri because Lauri is special. And boy, was I wrong. He came to Chicago as part of the return package in the trade that sent Jimmy Butler to the Minnesota Timberwolves all the way back in 2017. During his best moments, he is an offensive playmaker. He is 7 feet tall, so he's certainly got the capability. Since putting up 15.2 points per game and 7.5 rebounds in his rookie season, he hasn't really taken great strides. He's a double-double threat who can shoot the three, but his numbers have remained the same and have even decreased in some areas. This past season, he averaged 13.6 points per game and 5.3 rebounds, although he did shoot a career-best 40.2% from the three-point range. Now, the biggest concern with Markkanen comes on the defensive side, as his inability to slow down some of the best big men in the league on a nightly basis it's become a little bit too much. He finished this past season at number 44 among power forwards with a minus 0.74 mark in ESPN's defensive real plus minus. So not great. There's still a lot to like, though. He's still very young, 24 years old, and he can help pull away bigs because he's got such a three-point threat. I mean, the 40.2% from deep is really encouraging, but his defensive issues, I think, on this Bulls team that needs more playmakers, a team that needs more defensive-minded guys, better defensive players, it's just there isn't really a match. So for now, it looks like they're trying to hold him on as long as they can. My first guess is I bet he gets at least 3 offers in this offseason, so they'll have to match it. I'm hoping for a sign and trade. Now, a sign and trade deal for a guy like DeJounte Murray, that's a little too far-fetched in my opinion. There's no way that the Chicago Bulls can pull that off. However, guy like Jalen Brunson, I think that's a little bit more realistic. So it's not the end of the world that if Lauri Markkanen gets a ton of offers in the offseason, he's not going to come back to the Bulls for $9 million. He won't return as a Chicago Bull. I can pretty much 99% guarantee it, which is probably a good thing, right? I think Lauri's ready for I think he's just ready for a change of scenery. Back in his 2018-2019 season, when he was just 21 years old, sophomore campaign, he put up 18.7 points, 9 rebounds. Just absolute great season. Shot 36% from deep. He's a career 37% shooter because of his 40% year last year. So he just all around in his sophomore year was very good. And if Lauri Markkanen was putting up 19 and 9 numbers, I think it would be a much different conversation we're having right now. Another offensive playmaker to help ease the pain or help ease the burden of playmaking off Zach LaVine. That would just be absolutely huge. And at that point, the Chicago Bulls would be legitimately, I think, a point guard away from an actual championship run. Whereas now, kind of have to figure out the point guard position, kind of got to figure out his replacement. Although he didn't play much this past season. He only started in 26 games. He averaged less than 26 minutes per game, which is significantly the least he has had in his career. So they reduced his role. They reduced Kobe's role as well. And that's actually, it's funny because that's when Lauri started to become such a lights out shooter. He did battle some injuries this season. He's battled injuries most seasons of his NBA career. So that's another major downside. Whatever team is getting him, they know they're taking a big risk. But obviously, you're hoping to get back to that 18, or actually really rounding up that 19-9 season. That was just 2 years ago. It's just 2 years ago. I think 2 seasons ago with COVID was just super whack as well. So I honestly just think a change of scenery, Lauri Markkanen would be set. But for the Bulls, we got to figure out a replacement. It seems like Daniel Theis is going to be on his way out. I don't know if the Bulls are going to have enough money to re-sign him. I don't know if they want Thaddeus and Daniel Theis back, but it's definitely going to be pricey. Daniel Theis is one of those players that often gets overlooked on championship teams, in my opinion. He's a super solid veteran presence. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's the type of player that does all the dirty work and maybe just doesn't get rewarded statistically for it. But Daniel Theis is the one down in the trenches doing all the dirty work. And then obviously Thaddeus Young. I really like Thaddeus. I just think he's better suited in a sixth-man role. I think he's better suited off the bench, kind of like Kobe White. I think we really could get something special in our bench unit with Thaddeus Young, with Kobe White, with Ayo. I think there is so much potential on this Bulls squad, but we got to find. People aren't really talking about the power forward replacement because Lauri didn't really start at the end of the season. But even if it's getting an upgrade from Lauri or from Thaddeus, I think it's just something that the Chicago Bulls need to do. No one's really talking about how we need to get a replacement at power forward or an upgrade or just more depth, something of sorts. I don't think Thaddeus Young at his age right now, it should be a starting power forward on a championship team. So also got to get a point guard. Maybe we might have to trade Kobe White. Who knows what's about to happen with this Bulls squad. But that's all I have for you guys today. Once again, if you enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button. If we could get this video to 50 likes, that would mean the world to me. You guys have been showing me a lot of love. I appreciate it. So until tomorrow, have a good one.